Melbourne, Australia.
Woohoo.
Indiana, Emily's in Indiana. Tonya is in Australia. I guess that would be tomorrow.
Yeah.
What's the future look like? Courtney's in Tallahassee. Ashley in New Jersey. Bangor, Maine. Amelia. Hi, Amelia. Welcome. All right. Well, we usually have a few people still joining, but still connecting. But let's go ahead and get started. So first, I want to welcome and thank you for joining us for Transform Your Life in 2021 with the Circle Technique. I'm Glenn Lubert, co-founder of Be Your Own Best Coach, a 5-week group program where we help people who want and need a personal life upgrade so they can consistently make the changes they need to achieve their aspirations. I'll be guiding you through today's session with my colleague and fellow co-founder, Dr. Deborah Teplow. Hi, Deborah.
Hello and good evening, everybody, or good morning.
So let's get started. At the end of these next 30 minutes, you'll be able to recognize the key building blocks of successful change and work with 2 critical elements that come before goal setting. Before we dive in, we want to start with a poll. And if you have any questions along the way, put them in the chat and we will answer them at the end of the session. So here's a question. What is the one question you must ask if you want to reach your goals and make them stick? All right, we have a poll up. Go ahead and enter in your answer. Hello, Sarah from Panama. Angela from Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah, so it's just, again, it's what do you need to ask if you want to reach your goals and make them stick?
All right, I got some answers coming in here.
Yep.
All right, so I'm going to end the poll. Last moment for anyone else who want to add their response. All right, here we go for some results.
Okay, so nobody voted for what's the problem I want to solve. That's interesting. What's kept me from proceeding? Some of you, few more. What barriers are keeping me? What first step I should take? One person. And then there was about a tie between none of the above and what barriers. And all of those questions are important to ask at different times. And so we're going to be, we won't get into that. We're going to actually ask the 2 questions that are none of the above. So we want to have a little fun with this, pique your interest, your curiosity, and we're going to go forward. So the building blocks of successful change are a lot more than just diving deep into problems, barriers, or even setting goals, and even SMART goals. And the building blocks of successful change, there are 4 of them. You, the person, that's, that kind of answers the what question. What do you want? People is the who question. Well, who supports you? The places are where. Where can you do it? And how does your environment support you? Things are also a how question. How do you do it? So we have the what, the who, the where, the how, and why is a special case that we're going to talk about in just a bit. So let's talk about first you, the person. And when we're thinking about change and setting goals, we usually talk about 2 basic things. That's your desire. What do you want? And the second thing is, and how are you going to do it? But today, we're going to take a little bit of a contrarian approach and start with ability, the how first. So it may seem a little bit nuts to talk about ability and how before talking about what you want. But here's the thing. Too often we start thinking about our goals and especially about our New Year's resolutions from a stance of deficits and failings. Where am I lacking? What things are wrong with me that I need to fix? What's holding me back from what I want? And we go from there to try to, quote, fix ourselves. But so many people, even maybe you, in spite of best intentions, fail to make lasting change. And that's because in the quest to fix and reform, we overlook the amazing strengths, skills, and resources that we already possess. All those things that we've managed to do that bring us to this time, here and now. And so the first strategy of you, the person, and that's what we're going to be looking at this whole evening, is just you, the person. The other elements are time for another discussion. It's not what we don't have, can't do, or fail at. It's what we already have done and can do. So thinking about ability actually starts with what you're already good at and asking questions about the presence of ability from all angles, including from your past. So, what we'd like to introduce today is a way to turn those ideas into immediate practice with this super powerful tool. And this tool has helped thousands of people all over the world. And what's fun is that you all are from all over the world, and we are really confident that this tool is going to help you. So it's called the circle technique. It's adapted from Arnoud Hubers of the Netherlands, and it starts with what your skills and successes are.
All right. And so in this, we're going to go into a breakout room for this. And what we want to do is take 2 minutes per person. There's about three of you in a room, and 2 minutes per person. And you're going to just simply ask the question, answer the question, what are you good at? So each person is going to take 2 minutes. They're going to list as many things that they are good at, even the smallest things. So see how many you can come up with and aim for at least 25 items. The other people in the group, the job of you as the listener is to be present, listen, and jot down the items that the speaker lists if the speaker needs a reminder of things that they've already listed. Now, Deborah, can you give this session in the morning was a little bit challenging for some people to write down what you're good at. Could you give some examples of what you could write down in this what you're good at area?
Yeah. So so things you're good at are like patience, determination, being cheerful in the morning, tidying up, when you cook in the kitchen. It's anything and everything, because every tiny thing counts. Remember that, even a grain of sand turns into a pearl, and a tiny seed turns into big trees. So everything counts. And what we want is just a list of traits and strengths you have. No, you don't have to explain it, because you're going in 2 minutes to 25 items. And that may be a stretch for you, or it may be easy. See how it goes for you.
All right. So let's get off to the breakout rooms. Does anybody have any questions? Simple answer. What are you good at? All right, here we go. All right, welcome back.
Okay. All right, are we all back?
Yep, everyone's back.
Okay.
So, yeah, what surprised you? Go ahead and enter in the chat what surprised you. And if one person, we'd like to get one person to contribute. Just unmute yourself if you want to contribute.
Yeah, just share your experience. It doesn't have to be necessarily what things you listed, although that's fine. But what was your experience? What was that shared experience of doing this exercise?
I can share a little bit, Deborah and Glenn, based on my experience. I felt empowered in general, and I felt like listening to others people's stuff that they're good at. It made me realize that I'm also good at that. So I felt like empowered in general, and I was telling the girls that were in my breakout room that we should do this more often in general. And also someone mentioned that saying it out loud, it makes a difference that when you just think it in your mind. So yeah, just word it. It's really powerful and nice.
Thank you, Sarah, for mentioning that. And thank you, everybody, for participating. And yeah, saying it out loud is powerful. It involves another sense, and you're back yourself. It makes it real for you. And Amelia said uplifting sharing, and Ashley, I noticed, said smiling, and that's lovely. And thank you very much for being adventurous. That's a term that came out of our group, adventurous and doing this with us. So
I like that Courtney's, I have more strengths than I recognize.
mm-hmm.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah, so let's move to desire. And of course, part of the question is asking what we want, but even more importantly, it's to be able to describe the outcome we're looking for and the difference it will make in our lives. And so that's the second strategy, is not just thinking about goals, but what's the outcome. So let's talk about goals. So notice that we've already said, goals and outcomes, they're two different words and two different things. And too often we use them as if they mean the same thing, and they don't. There's a big difference between goals and outcomes. And it makes a difference in how we go about thinking about change. What's a goal? Goal is losing 30 pounds, getting healthier, stopping smoking or drinking, or making more money. An outcome, however, goes far beyond the goal of the what, what do I want to do, to answer the why do I want to do it, and so what questions. The difference between goals and outcomes is the difference between a number, and really any number, and gliding across the ballroom floor dancing in the arms of my husband. Well, this isn't me and my husband, but you get the idea. So without having the why and the so what front and center, doing the hard work it takes to reach and make change goals stick is really hard. So the outcomes are critical. So let's turn that into immediate practice with this, our change circle. We're going to do the second circle, and it's going to be about outcomes. Yes. And it's not just goals, but today we're going to answer the question. Imagine that you've already made a change in your life and it was exactly what you want. What are the things that would tell you that things were better for you? And I think, Glenn, you might have a better wording of this question. And this is going to be the question for our second breakout room.
Yeah, we're going to go into the same people in the same breakout room, 2 minutes per person. And as Deborah said, you're going to imagine that you made the change in your life and it was just right for you. What's the first thing you noticed that would tell you things were different for you, that were better for you? What was even the smallest thing that you would notice? And then what else would you notice? And then what else would you notice? And what else would you notice? And so you want to keep asking that question. And again, 2 minutes per person. And we're going to go ahead and go into our breakout rooms. Here we go. And welcome back. Everybody's back now, Deborah.
Okay, great. Well, let's hear quickly. We're at the end of our time. So let's hear quickly, so just one person sharing or chat, what stood out for you? What did you notice? What caught your attention in that exercise? Can we see some chat in there?
Yeah. Anyone want to share?
I feel the similarities in the journey to accomplish something, and then recognizing in that journey the pieces of the puzzle that were missing, and how we all facilitated finding or how we all found the route to locate those pieces of the puzzle to create a bigger picture of a better version of ourselves.
Nice.
Wow. Did I say that right? I think so.
No, that sounded great.
Courtney said we all know different things in ourselves. They all seem to boil down to having a better sense of control of our days, emotions, lives, and skills. Wow. Well, that's quite some summary and beautiful. Yeah. So to summarize, and if you want, just chat a little bit more, but we're going to go on. So to summarize, instead of starting with deficits and failings and then focusing on objective numbers like lose 20 pounds or abstractions like get healthier, look at what's already working for you. So what are you good at? And all the number of other questions. What difference and meaning it will have for you to make the changes you're thinking about. And then how do you put it together?
All right. So today we recognize the key building blocks of successful change. We work with the two critical elements that come before goal setting: desire, what the outcome you want in your life from making the change you're thinking about, and the ability, how will you do it using all your strengths, skills, resources you have. Now we have the full circle here that you'll all have available to you via email along with a link to the recording. Deborah, could you say a little bit more about doing this exercise in a full circle?
So you did the first two steps of the circle technique. There's a third step. Also you'll see that for each of the step 1 and step 2, there are multiple questions you can ask. The third step is to fill in the circles and then connect the dots. And that means looking at what you want in your life, and the kinds of outcomes, the kinds of changes you want to make, and then drawing a line to link the things you want in your life with the skills, the strengths, and the resources you already possess that will help you get the outcomes you want. And then the goals are really they'll fall into place because you know the kind of life you want to lead, the qualities that you want to embody, and the strengths, skills, and resources that you already have to make it happen. And those are the things you should be doing or you can be doing before you even think about, oh, what are my New Year's resolutions?
Right. And I put this PDF in the chat. You can download it there. And like I said as well, I will be sending it out to everyone. And I also want to let everyone know to check out BeYourOwnBestCoach.com, where you can find out more information about our 5-week group program, which includes more tools like this to help you consistently make the change you need to achieve the aspirations in your life. Our next cohort will be this spring, and we'll let you know as soon as it's announced. If you have any questions, please reach out to us at solutions@BeYourOwnBestCoach.com. I want to thank you, Deborah, for this presentation, and thank you everyone for listening, and stay well.